Hello everybody, welcome back. Hope you had a good Christmas. I thought I'd make this video on just Ethereum in general because it basically hasn't moved for what feels like forever basically, although it is still staying above its major support, which is getting stronger as the days go on really. Now we've got a 50 exponential moving average moving up towards that area. Got the daily Bollinger Band sitting there as well, basically for reference. It's basically what at 2,145. That's the major support for Ethereum. So we've seen this many times, where I'll just show it to you now if my RAM can handle it on this little laptop that I'm using while I'm away. We've got a super support here. We obviously broke down. We had a major resistance here, and since then we have cleared it. But we've basically been consolidating above it, which is fine. We've retested it quite a few times. I mean, as of yesterday and the day before and the day before that, the Bollinger Band itself on the daily has been support. Today, breaking down a little bit with a view to come down to that level, which is 2,145. Now, the good thing about Ethereum is that it generally is, I suppose, one way to try to determine the strength of altcoins, or at least the prolonged alt season, if you want to call it that. I suppose we can still call it an alt season. It's been pretty sweet across the board. You know, not yesterday. I didn't make a video yesterday, but the day before I was talking about Atom. So we're still seeing moves generate on charts with altcoins, which is good. So we can still take some of these altcoins on face value and expect to see, you know, the trades play out, which that's what we do here. But only if Bitcoin remains above its major levels, which I would say is about between 41 and 42, and Ethereum stay above 2,145. And for the moment, we are above those levels. And if we are coming down to retest those levels, it's nothing more than a buy the dip or an attempt at making a trade. And if it fails, the next major support for something like Ethereum is going to be down here at this 200 exponential, which is 1,900 basically. So it's not all is not lost, although sizable pullback on Ethereum would certainly you'd see sizable pullbacks across the board on altcoins. So I'm not saying we're on borrowed time, but you still have to be skeptical about every altcoin that you trade. Trading that altcoin with Ethereum in the back of your head, Bitcoin in the back of your head, and also something like the Dixie at the back of your head as well. Dixie's still got a little further to retrace. We can see this on the weekly here, the 200 exponential moving average sitting around 100.6. That's fine. That's good. And obviously, we know that Bitcoin and Ethereum are above supports as well. So let's have a look at the Bitcoin pair. So Ethereum to Bitcoin. What's going on over here? Because basically, both Bitcoin and Ethereum over the last couple of weeks have not been as good as playing altcoins. Obviously, it's all about the altcoins. Has been for quite a while now. Some people might still be in disbelief of calling it an alt season, but let's just call it. Let's just say we've been making money out of altcoins, as not to upset the trolls. Because every time I say that word, even though it's been going on for months now, they get very upset. I don't know what the problem is. Do you not like hundreds of percents? I do. Right. So what we're seeing here on Ethereum versus Bitcoin is low, lower low, lower low, and then also what we've got is low, lower low, higher low. So we do have a drive, only a single one, of bullish divergence. Just one little drive here. So, I mean, is it enough to consider this anything special? I don't know, really. I mean, you could wind it back a little bit if you want to spread some, I suppose, bullish hopium. You could say, all right, we've got a low, we've got a low, we've got a lower low, and obviously we've got a higher low, a higher low, and higher low. So you've got three drives of bullish divergence. Again, we're splitting hairs here, trying to make it sound probably more bullish than it is, but that is true. That does exist. So there's either two or perhaps maybe three drives of bullish divergence. It's up to you how you want to interpret that. Certainly is two drives. On the 4 hourly, there was nothing more than a death cross retest that seems to be happening quite frequently since the death cross took place, all the way back down yonder. But in recent history, we've got rejection, 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 clean rejection, rejection, rejection. So lots of rejections around these areas. So really what you want to see and what you kind of need to see is Ethereum close and build a base above the 200 simple and exponential on this 4 hourly. Um, for today's reference point, that's going to be closures above 0.0534 sats. So, for safety purposes, you want to see, decent 4-hourly candle body closures and perhaps retests and reactions around that area, maybe the 0.0454. On this chart, right this very moment in time, we might be brewing something on the itchy cloud. It's not quite got it yet. It might take a couple of days to do it. We did make a positive cross on the conversion baseline cross over here. Green portion of the cloud. Currently, we've got price action above the cloud. We're waiting for the Chiku span to cross outside of the price action, and we don't quite have that yet. So we'll just zoom in a little closer to see when that's going to be. I appreciate my charts are quite noisy, especially on this laptop. They seem to feel a lot worse. Chiku span is obviously around this area here now, which means that if we do see closures above, well, it's that level again, isn't it? Really, got to get closures above, well, 0.0535 to get a pump signal on this 4-hourly itchy cloud on the Bitcoin pair. So that's what it would be today. A couple more days, it will be less time, and a few more days after that, it will be at this current price action. So it's either a closure at a higher level today, tomorrow, maybe even Thursday, or waiting it out until Friday, and we can hang around at this exact price action, and we'll likely receive the pump signal. Again, you got to look at this every day. I can't, for me to say that, oh, we're going to get a pump on Friday, that's not reasonable. But I'm saying that there's 3 of the 4 components of a pump signal on this itchy cloud present right now. You do need all 4 for it to actually be a signal. You can't just say, oh, we've got 3 of the 4, that'll do. Bye. No. Wait for the pump signal to be generated, and if that is generated at a lower level, you would expect initially a death cross retest again on the 4-hourly. So let's just say it was from this price action. You'd be like, all right, so expect a rejection at around about the 2% mark, really. But yeah, this time round, the pump signal would be different to the other thing. That's the classic YouTube thumbnail, isn't it? This time would be different, but it would be different if we got the pump signal. All these previous attempts to move up to the 200 exponential weren't in the form of a pump signal. They were just rallies and rallies, or pumps and pumps. They weren't an actual signal on an itchy cloud. Again, 2% is quite mild of a move, really, given a pump signal on a 4-hourly. But the rule is you pump to the next major resistance on that time frame, which unfortunately for Ethereum is basically about 2% or less. So we'll see if it actually has the power to move if and when the signal is generated. Currently it's not. So long story short, Ethereum does have bullish divergence on its Bitcoin pair on the daily, which is a good sign. We might be generating a pump signal around Friday or Saturday, which would be good as well. So there's 2 aspects of the Bitcoin pair, which is potentially bullish there. As far as Ethereum's tether pair is concerned, yeah, we're holding above supports. We could get supports around here, or obviously down here. So we're above support, which is good. And so that every day above support is a good day. But I'm not really seeing any reason to suggest a major pump at this level, unless of course we drop down for a golden cross retest, or a little bit lower for a retest of the support and then bounce from there. That could easily happen. You expect V-shaped recoveries from golden cross retest. So the tether pair is not bad. The Bitcoin pair is showing signs of potential move, but I think it's a little early to say that we're definitely going to get it. Until then, by the fact that it's holding above supports and is refusing to break down and I suppose break out, it does offer more opportunity for the other coins that we've been highlighting, not just on the videos here, but on the Patreon videos, which normally I would do one tonight, but I can't really. It's just too much going on over Christmas. I'm away, seeing family and stuff. Can't really take 2 hours out to do a live stream. When I get back next week, we'll be back on as usual. But yeah, like I say, certain coins, certain charts are still moving, and so long as Bitcoin's holding its support and Ethereum's holding its support, it should be able to breathe more life into the charts, which do have decent setups. And again, the last video I made on the channel was about Atom, and Atom, is up decent today in a world where I suppose most things appear to be in the red. So charts do things sometimes, don't they? It's not all hocus pocus. It's certainly not a crystal ball, but you can still make money in these markets, pretty well, to be honest. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. Long story short, in summary, seems as though we are good for this week, at least for today, and we might even finish the week or enter into next weekend with a nice bullish candle on Ethereum. You'd expect that to carry altcoins onto new local highs. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope you had a good Christmas. Take it easy.